Hi, and welcome to the Weekend Artist. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of digital art for Gengar and his evolutions. Well, de-evolutions, I guess, because he starts off as Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar from Pokemon. This is a from a live stream that I did over on Twitch. The link is in my bio. Feel free to follow there if you have any interest. I do all sorts of sketch and art stuff there. And yeah, we have a lot of fun over there. So yeah, this video is just going to be basically me just going through my process. I always start with a sketch that then I've scanned in, and I'm going to now start going over it with a pen. This isn't a sponsored video, but I like using Jazzer brushes. I find they work the best. You'll see here I started with a construction line and quickly realized there's no point in that as I've already got basically a construction line. So I'm going to now go ahead and change. You'll see I realize my redundancy in doing that, which, it's always fun on live streams because you figure it out as you go. So yeah, and now I'll switch over to just a normal brush. And then I'm just going to go ahead now and go over everything. So there's the basic sketch done. I'm now going to pull in some reference for the colors and just pull off the net some, just the evolutions so I can just try and match the colors. What I like to do is I like to put little color blocks in the top. So just basically selecting the different colors I want and just add in the different layers just so it's easier to keep track. And you'll see here I save it as a separate file, and then I'm going to go in and start coloring, just laying the base color down based on those. So just selecting what I want, put in a different file in a different layer, sorry, and just going in with the base color, just and then in there I like to just use a select tool when I'm using doing larger sections. You'll see with the eyes I always go a little bit off white to like a grayish yellow, just because I like the little different and texture it gives. So there I was just checking that everything was covered, And yeah, now I'm just going to do exactly the same process on all of them. So that was just Ghastly, and I'm going to go ahead and do it with Haunter and Gengar exactly the same. At this point, I realized that I liked having maybe the hand behind, so I just copied over and then just removed the lines I didn't need just to give it a little bit more texture on the character, a little bit more depth, having two hands. That's the thing about when you draw in live, you sometimes make some mistakes. So, yeah, it was quite fun, and I just added more color into here just so that it keeps the sequence and it makes it look as nice and as clear as possible. Now with the base colors done, I'm going to go ahead and add a gradient background, a purple background to try and match with the character theme, but also so that it doesn't look so flat. And then I'm going to start looking at adding my shadows. Now with adding the shadows, I'm going to go ahead and select, again in the group and layer that I was using, I'm going to go ahead and put the shadow color in here. I've just confused myself a little bit with the different colors, but you see I'll select just where I want to add the shadows, and then I will increase my selection so that it goes underneath, so that there's nothing missing or nothing that's going to leave like white gaps. So now I'll go in with a gray. I like to do my shadows with a gray, so I'm going in with a paint-like brush now, so that when I push harder or go over it, it leaves a darker area, and the further away where I've pushed lighter, it's a little bit lighter. And I was hoping this would give it a bit of a smoke-like effect. So now that I've done it over the smoke, I'll go ahead and put it onto the face. So just going wherever to me makes sense with shadows, going darker in the corner, put in quite a big shadow as Ghastly is a little bit darker in color. I thought I'd just add a little bit of darker shading so that when it changes, it's going to look better. So again, I'm just going in with the gray and the same brush I was using. So I've got some texture, different colors, and not just a solid gray. I've got some lighter to darker areas, and I'm just going to go in and just change where it makes the most sense to me. Not to say that it's 100%, I just do what feels good to me. That's what art's all about. And then you'll see now I change that layer to dark or multiply or add color darken, then it changes that gray over. So you see it gives it that nice dark effect. That's how I like to do shading. But now, because you got these hard edges, I'll go in with a blending type brush, a softer brush, and I'll just blend in the colors there so that it doesn't have such a harsh edge to it. And I'll just go around and do this across the board on Ghastly, still on that shadows layer, so it's still got that color burn. And again, you'll see I do it all along the edges here. I was liking the color it was given. I just went a little bit lighter and a little bit of a thicker brush so that it's more evenly spread. And again, just so that it's not so harsh on the edges there. I'm going to then continue and do exactly the same over onto Haunter and then Gengar. The same technique of selecting where I want to add my shadows with my gray. You can see here I decided to change my gradient a little bit on the background as I didn't feel it was fitting the theme well enough. I'm also actually going to just add some light effects to Ghastly first before I move on to Haunted. So this is just another light brush with a grey, white color. I just go in basically opposite to wherever I've added dark shadows or just on the edges. And this just makes my piece stand out a bit, I feel. So I just go in areas again that I just feel it makes sense to have a little bit more of a shadow. You'll see I go all the way across here just because I felt like it was a little bit too dark there. And again, I changed my effects a bit to lighten so it's not such a harsh white, but it still gives the same effect. So I just fiddle around a bit until I find one that makes the most sense to me, settle in on soft light. And now I'm going to move over to my Haunter, which I'm going to do the same as I say, the shadows and the lighting before I move over onto Gengar. And yeah, just getting to the end of adding all my shadows to Gengar. I'm just playing around with how dark I want it and looking at the shadow's not too harsh as much as it's a darker color. And then I'm just going and adding an overlay because I thought he didn't look purple enough. So I just changed a bit of that, which you'll see I'll go back and change again to make it a little bit more subtle. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And I hope everyone enjoyed the video. And if you did, give it a like. And I really appreciate it. Any subscribe. And yeah, if you would like to see more content, follow me over on Twitch and you can watch as I do these doodles and participate in polls for what I'm going to be doing next. I'm just going to finish this off by adding a little bit glow to the pictures, and that's it. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.